What would it be like if a Muay Thai fighter battled zombies? In a future day, a crisis caused by global warming swept the world. Marine animals are dying en masse because they cannot adapt to the temperature. Food on land is also gone. All of humanity is facing a survival crisis. People without food start rioting in the streets. The government can barely maintain normal order. In such a world, the most valuable thing is food. Singh is originally a Muay Thai fighter. He opens a martial arts gym, but because everyone doesn't have enough to eat and is busy rioting, no one comes to the gym to learn Muay Thai anymore. His Muay Thai career collapsed from there. In order not to become a burden to his wife and maintain household expenses, he finds a job transporting goods. This job looks simple, but it is actually very dangerous. Today, as the two men stopped their truck, they were attacked by a group of rioters on the road. Singh and the driver fought back fiercely and finally took down all the attackers. But their truck was broken into by the attackers, and one box was also slashed open by them with a knife. This slashed box was identified as damaged. The buyer refused to accept it and even deducted their transportation money. The driver angrily cursed, considering himself unlucky. He took the box home and found that it was a box of fish. Am I risking my life for this box of fish? It's been 10 years since we've had anything good to eat. The kind driver knew that Singh was preparing to take his wife back to his hometown. So he paid him his salary, prepared a motorcycle for him, and generously shared half of the fish with Singh. Singh took the fish home. His wife, Rin, saw the wound on her husband's face and was very worried. She didn't want to live in the city anymore and wanted Singh to go back to his hometown with her because his job was too dangerous. At the same time, the fish they transported were delivered to the wealthy. These fish are safe. They are really the best quality products that Mr. Vasu bought for his wife. This billionaire, Vasu, is the richest and most famous merchant in the area, currently claiming that he will provide enough food for everyone, feeding all the people of Thailand. But in reality, people in the lower classes are so hungry that they have to compete for cockroaches in the sewers to eat. They fight with bloody heads just for a piece of food, while these wealthy people can enjoy the freshest fish on their tables. Billionaire Vasu was supposed to attend the meeting today, but because his wife was seriously ill, he went to the hospital to visit her and entrusted this banquet to his trusted subordinate. The subordinate was talking about how to promote business cooperation and build a food empire with other wealthy merchants, when he suddenly vomited black blood after eating a piece of fish. Vasu still doesn't know that his company has had such a serious food poisoning incident. The trusted subordinate has been taken to the hospital for emergency treatment, while Vasu took the fish liver, the most valuable part of the whole fish, to the hospital. I believe that the rare fish liver can improve my wife's condition. Coincidentally, Singh's wife, Rin, is actually a doctor at this hospital and also the doctor in charge of treating Vasu's wife. Because everyone knows that after the earth warms up, marine animals die en masse and are also polluted for unknown reasons. Rin feels suspicious about whether this fish is safe or not. But the hospital director is very confident, believing that since Vasu loves his wife so much, this fish is definitely not a problem. What they don't know is that at the same time, Vasu's subordinate has died on the emergency table. When the medical staff just turned their backs to leave the ward, leaving only one doctor cleaning up the scene, the patient who was already dead suddenly opened his eyes. His eyes had completely turned black, and then he rushed towards the doctor. Rin has always been suspicious about that piece of fish liver, but she can't overcome the hospital director. The hospital director is very respectful to the billionaire, treating his words like sacred edicts. The two just finished talking to the billionaire and came out of the ward when they saw someone running in the hallway. Vasu's subordinate chased closely behind, then rushed up to bite and tear at the medical staff like a wild beast. Seeing this scene, Rin and the hospital director both changed color. In an instant, the hospital became chaotic, and news spread quickly. The government also announced in the media, "We have an emergency at Rajamit Hospital. Unless it is very important, please do not enter the hospital area." After seeing the announcement, Singh was very worried about his wife and immediately went to the hospital. Fortunately, this young couple doesn't seem to like cooking and isn't too greedy either, so the fish that Singh was given hasn't been processed yet and is still in the kitchen, not a single bite eaten. If it were someone else who was greedy, they would definitely rush to cook as soon as they brought it back. Now, they would definitely have little chance of survival. At this time, the outside of the hospital has been surrounded by fully armed soldiers. They not only shot the people who had mutated to death, but also herded the ordinary people on the surrounding streets into the hospital. Very quickly, the hospital became a place like hell on earth. Everywhere our people have been bitten and mutated. They constantly rush to bite and tear at the survivors like wild beasts. The survivors, after being bitten, will also quickly turn into zombies. At this time, the hospital director has been bitten, while Rin is fortunately unharmed. She leads the hospital director to hide in a small room, nervously observing the situation outside. Waiting like this is not what Rin wants. She wants to go out to find out the situation, but the hospital director begs her not to abandon him here. Rin promises to come back to find him, but before she can take a few steps, the hospital director turns into a zombie right before her eyes, then rushes to bite and tear at a corpse on the ground. When he sees Rin turn around, he rushes towards her. Rin can only hide between several shelves. The hospital director is stuck on the shelves and temporarily can't catch her. Taking advantage of the opportunity, Rin quickly runs out of this room. Just then, Rin suddenly hears her husband, Sing's, voice over the hospital intercom in the hallway. "Rin, where are you?" She frantically replies to her husband through the intercom system, but it's clear he can't hear her. Sing, on the floor below, can't find his wife. He has no choice but to start from the first floor and search every level, one by one. He doesn't find his wife, but he does find a child being attacked by a zombie, almost getting eaten alive. If it were an adult about to be bitten, he might have ignored it. But seeing a kid in such danger, he can't just stand by and do nothing. In a desperate move, Sing jumps in and pulls the zombie off the child. Seeing a savior appear out of nowhere, fiercely fighting the zombie, the child yells out, reminding him to aim for the zombie's head. Sing smashes the zombie's head, and sure enough, the zombie goes completely still. But the noise from the fight attracts more zombies. The child screams in terror, but Sing calmly smashes the heads of each of these zombies in turn. The child, saved by Sing, is filled with admiration. The boy speaks to Sing, asking to tag along, but his mom is on the third floor and he wants to find her. Sing hears that the child's mother works at the hospital, meaning she could be a colleague of his wife. "Do you know Dr. Rin? She's my wife. If I find your mom, I'll find Dr. Rin." Hearing this, Sing immediately leads the child upstairs. Meanwhile, the first floor is almost entirely devoid of survivors. A little girl, crying, walks out of the hospital gates, wanting to leave and find her mother, but the soldiers immediately point their guns at her. The security guard hears this and rushes out, standing in front of the little girl to shield her. He is shot dead on the spot. Upstairs, the higher-ups are in a heated debate about how to handle the crisis at the hospital. Public health officials are the first to be blamed. Everyone is baffled as to how such a severe contamination incident infiltrated the city and infected the population, causing such a massive impact. It becomes clear that eating contaminated seafood and turning into a zombie is not a new phenomenon in this world. But even knowing the danger, the wealthy still find ways to get their hands on seafood. Now, how to deal with the hospital has become a problem. In the end, the high-ranking military officer decides to abandon the 500 survivors in the hospital to protect the city's 5 million residents. Blowing up the hospital is the only way we can resolve this crisis. The survivors in the hospital still have hope for rescue, but they have no idea that they have been completely abandoned by their government. Rin struggles alone through the hospital, desperately avoiding the zombies. She then sees the security guard slumped nearby. He has a set of keys on his belt. Rin carefully moves forward, wanting to grab the keys, but the security guard suddenly wakes up, his face twisted and savage, and lunges at her. In the nick of time, Rin snatches the keys, dodges him, and bursts into the surveillance room. Here, she discovers a particularly safe room on the 10th floor. Because that room is a restricted area with multiple locked doors blocking the way, no zombies have been able to get in. This room is the special care unit where the billionaire's wife is lying. It seems her only chance of survival is to reach this room, then ask the billionaire for shelter. Meanwhile, Sing finally gets the child to the 3rd floor. The child finds his mother's office, but she's not there. However, from the office's duty roster, they discover that the boy's mother and Rin are both on duty on the 5th floor. However, the two can't go up the stairs normally. Zombies are chasing them, leaving them with no escape, and they can only hide in a hospital room. Luckily, there are no zombies in the room, just a terminally ill old man in a bed and a family member at his side. The family member looks desperate and pulls out a syringe of poison, injecting his father, then injecting himself. Sing can't offer them any comfort. He can only take advantage of the fact that the zombies haven't broken in yet, open the window, and climb onto the scaffolding outside. The child follows closely behind, climbing onto the scaffolding. But halfway up, a zombie on the 4th floor breaks through a window and tries to grab the child's leg to climb up after them. In a desperate move, Singh grabs the child's hand and pulls him up, and they both make it to the 5th floor. In the neonatal intensive care unit, they find a nurse who is the child's mother. She is overjoyed to see her son, and the nurse recognizes Singh because Rin talks about her husband every day. Rin is on the 10th floor. Singh notices blood on her back. It seems this nurse has been bitten and doesn't have long to live. She knows she will soon turn and ask Singh to take care of her son. She tells the child to go with him to the 10th floor to find Rin, so that they may have a chance to survive. But the child stubbornly refuses to go, insisting on staying with his mother. Singh is unable to force him. Instead, the child starts screaming in the hallway, calling for his mother. In the next moment, the boy's mother transforms into a zombie, slamming on the glass door and roaring at him. The child still refuses to give up, and instead starts crying louder, attracting a large number of zombies. This time, the child is truly a burden. Singh wants to take him, but he won't go. Singh has no choice but to carry the child and run into the stairwell. It was already difficult for Singh to lead a child while fighting a bunch of zombies. Now, carrying the child means both his hands are occupied. They barely manage to run into the stairwell and lock the door. Meanwhile, Rin has managed to escape and make it to the special care unit. She begs the billionaire inside to open the door and let her in. The billionaire is suspicious but still lets her in. Seeing that she's unharmed, he breathes a sigh of relief. Unlike Rin, who is still terrified and hasn't calmed down, the billionaire seems completely composed. "We don't need to do anything. Someone will come to rescue us." The billionaire's confidence isn't without reason. The high-ranking military officer had clearly ordered the destruction of the building, but before the demolition, he received an order from higher up. They demanded that he rescue the billionaire from the building at all costs, and the all costs could only mean the special forces under the officer's command. This elite team of soldiers, fully armed, will be deployed by helicopter directly from the roof of the building, enter the 10th floor to rescue the billionaire, then plant bombs to destroy the entire hospital. To them, only the life of billionaire Vasu matters. The lives of other ordinary people do not. The child also feels like he's a burden. After calming down, he tells Singh to go on ahead, to just leave him there. He doesn't want to keep being a burden to Singh. But Singh refuses to abandon him, takes his hand, and continues to go upstairs. On the other side, Vasu has kept Rin for a while, finally revealing his intentions. To ask Rin to find more new blood bags so his wife can continue to receive transfusions. His wife needs large amounts of fresh blood every day to stay alive. Rin can't refuse Vasu's request, or rather, his command. She has to risk her life to leave the special room again and go to other rooms to find blood bags. Singh finally gets the child to the 10th floor. As soon as they exit the stairwell, he sees his wife rush into a room, followed by a horde of zombies. He quickly shouts, trying to attract all the zombies. This action, while effective, attracts most of the zombies, but some still follow Rin into the room with the blood. Meanwhile, the special forces have stormed the hospital. They clear out a large number of zombies in the hallway and directly rescue Vasu and his wife from the special room. At this point, the billionaire completely disregards Rin, who has lost her value. But when their medic is bitten by a zombie, he demands that they take a doctor along for his wife's safety. At this time, the only doctor still alive on the 10th floor is Rin. So reluctantly, the special forces escort Vasu and his wife towards Rin, trying to take her with them. At this moment, Rin is blocked by a giant zombie. Just looking at its size, she knows she is no match for this thing. In a desperate move, the child opens the door and sprays the zombie with a fire extinguisher, obstructing its vision and helping Rin escape being bitten by the zombie. But soon after, the zombie is standing in front of her again. Seeing that the zombie is about to attack again, Singh rushes in and smashes the zombie's head from behind with the fire extinguisher. With great difficulty, Singh has temporarily secured their safety. The two breathe a sigh of relief, but as they step out of the room, before they can do anything, Singh is shot by one of the Special Forces soldiers. He falls to the ground, his fate unknown. The Special Forces quickly drag Rin away, as if stealing a maiden from a good family. Seriously, can't you guys talk normally? If you had talked properly, everyone could have gone together, and this wouldn't have happened. Instead, they act like robbers. Singh wasn't hit in the head by the bullet, so he quickly got up from the ground. He goes crazy and desperately tries to take his wife back from the soldiers. Because Rin isn't cooperating, They have to drag her away like a criminal. But Rin puts up a fierce resistance, making it very difficult for them to pull her. This commotion attracts a lot of zombies. The team has fallen into an extremely unfavorable situation. Singh isn't idle either. He fights both zombies and Special Forces soldiers, not distinguishing friend from foe, just attacking anyone he sees. In a short time, many of the elite Special Forces soldiers are taken down by Singh. The Special Forces captain sees this and is furious. Time is life. Singh is not only stopping them from leaving, but he's also attacking their men. The captain then lunges at Singh, and the two fight evenly matched. Finally, they resort to a fight to the death. Both of them fall, exhausted to the point where they can't stand up. But there's a difference. Singh is pulled into a safe room by his wife to treat his wounds, while the captain is unlucky enough to be swarmed by zombies who bite him several times. When Singh wakes up, he sees Rin in front of him, helping him treat his wounds. "Rin, I'm sorry. I always make you worry. I have to say that Rin and her husband are magical. The Special Forces are also amazing. They only take the doctor, not the doctor's family, which leads to the entire team being wiped out. The two are now in the room, sharing their love. After we escape from here, let's go back to our hometown." The child is unable to stand the two lovebirds being so lovey-dovey. He rushes over and tells them there's a problem. The Special Forces have planted bombs in the building, and the bombs are about to explode. Don't just stand here talking. Think of a way to escape. Singh is finally jolted back to reality. But if they want to leave, the biggest obstacle is the Special Forces captain, who has turned into a zombie and is outside the door. So Singh comes up with a plan. He tells Rin to take the child and run on ahead, then deliberately lures the captain into the room, throws 2 bottles of gasoline at him, and finally throws a flare at the guy. The captain immediately turns into an unstoppable torch. In the hallway, the billionaire's wife's eyes suddenly turn black, and she begins to move slightly. Because his wife has been in a vegetative state for so many years, Vasu is overjoyed, thinking that his wife has recovered. He refuses to leave with the group, wanting to stay by his wife's side. Predictably, as soon as he hugs his wife, she bites him hard. Immediately after, a large horde of zombies surrounds them, constantly biting and tearing. Singh wants to take his wife and escape, but they have to go through a parking garage to get to the roof. It's full of zombies. He has no choice but to have Rin take the child to the roof first while he stays behind to hold them off. On the roof, a helicopter is waiting. The soldiers holding guns make Rin and the child spin around, and after confirming that they don't have any wounds, they agree to take them. After all, they've already come this far, and everyone below has been wiped out. They couldn't save Vasu, but saving at least 2 survivors counts as an accomplishment. But if they knew that it was because of Rin that the entire team was wiped out, I don't know if they would still be so kind. Rin begs the soldier to wait 5 more minutes. Someone else is coming. Singh is struggling with the zombies, but in the end, there are too many. He's a little powerless and has to hide in a car. He tries to start the car, but it won't start. Instead, Singh is surrounded by zombies on all sides. He quickly retreats to the back of the car. Just as he's about to be bitten by a zombie, there's a huge explosion. The zombies inside and outside the car are blown to pieces, but miraculously, Singh is unharmed and gets out. 5 minutes have passed. The soldier is quick to pull Rin and the child onto the helicopter. Rin is still pleading, not wanting to leave, but she also doesn't get off the plane. "Please wait a moment. Don't take off. Don't take off." Singh finally escapes the parking garage, but he doesn't make it to the helicopter. Moreover, he's covered in blood. I doubt the pilot would let him on anyway. Singh just watches as his wife's helicopter takes off. At this time, the explosion timer counts down to 0. The tightly closed doors behind Singh can't withstand the pressure. All the zombies rush out, and Singh continues to fight the zombies on the roof. Then, Rin, on the helicopter, watches as a fire erupts, swallowing all the zombies and her husband. After everything is over, Rin returns to her hometown alone, as she had promised her husband. But she is the only one left. The story seems to end here, but in the final scene of the movie, in the rubble after the fire has died down, Singh is still alive and crawls out. Singh's survival power is really terrifying. The movie is now truly over. Thank you for watching the video. Goodbye and see you again.